Sing that shit.
But before I hop right into it, I'd like to give a shout out to the sponsor of this video, SeatGeek. Now, I know you guys have already heard of this app, but if you haven't, I would highly recommend that you go check it out. SeatGeek is an app that takes all the confusion out of buying a ticket. Be it a game, concert, Broadway show, whatever the occasion may be, they got you. And they even give you a out of 10 score on each ticket to know if you're getting a good or a bad deal. Green good, red bad. And if you're still kind of iffy on it, if you use my promo code ModernHoops, you'll get $20 off your first purchase. And there will be a link to it in the description box below. And remember, if you use my promo code ModernHoops, you will get $20 off your first purchase. So go check them out. Now, I feel like I've said this 1,000 times, but the Denver Nuggets have simply been amazing this season. Right now, 37 games into the season, almost about the halfway point, the Nuggets are still on top of the tough Western Conference, surging with a 26-11 record, which is their best start since the 1976-77 NBA season, and they are surprising a lot of people. A lot of people never expected the Denver Nuggets to be this good this far into the season, but of course, you could say one of the biggest reasons for the Nuggets' success this season is because of Nikola Jokic's amazing MVP play. The dude's averaging almost 19 points, 10 rebounds, and an insane 7.5 assists per game as a 7-foot center. But a large portion of it should also go to Michael Malone, who's been doing a great job this year as the head coach, and who I also believe should be the coach of the year this season, or has a much better case for it than any other coach in the league so far this season. Now, I know what some of you guys might say. Well, what about Brad Stevens, Greg Popovich, Doc Rivers, Nate McMillan, and even Mike Budenholzer? Now, for one, Brad Stevens has been way too inconsistent this season, and the Celtics, for a majority of the season, hasn't looked like the team we all thought that they'd be. But once again, I simply believe that Michael Malone has a much better case for it than any other coach in the league. Now, don't get me wrong, Greg Popovich has done a great job with the Spurs, especially after trading Kawhi and losing DeJounte Murray early in the season with a torn ACL injury. And the same thing can be said about Doc Rivers in the Clippers and Nate McMillan in the Pacers. They've done a great job with their respective teams, and Mike Budenholzer has revolutionized the Bucks offense with the three-point shooting and more spacing around Giannis Antetokounmpo. But as for Michael Malone, ever since he became the head coach of the Denver Nuggets, they've gotten better each season. In his first season as head coach of the Nuggets during the 2015-2016 NBA season, they went 33-49. The season after that, they went 40-42, and last season alone, they went 46-36. And this season, they're on pace to win over 50 games. But after missing the postseason last year by only one game, Michael Malone has really installed the mentality that every game counts, because last season, a lot of times, the Nuggets would find themselves losing to teams that they're not supposed to be losing to. Also, the last few seasons, the Nuggets were always one of the worst defensive teams in the league, but with that being said, they were always one of the best offensive teams in the league also. So oftentimes, we'd find ourselves in the shootout against other teams on a nightly basis, but this season, not only are the Nuggets top 10 in offensive rating, but they're also top 10 in defensive rating. Major improvements on the defensive end of the floor this season, and a large reason for it should also go to Michael Malone. But that isn't even the most surprising accomplishment for Michael Malone this season. What's surprising is that he's been able to have all this success while missing star players like Gary Harris, Paul Millsap, and Will Barton for large portions of the season, and not to mention guys like Michael Porter Jr. and Jared Vanderbilt and Isaiah Thomas has yet to even see the floor, and we have no idea when they'll return. But somehow they still managed to be elite team like the Thunder and the Toronto Raptors without them. He's had to rely on his bench heavily this season, but has also done a great job installing the next man up mentality into this team and not letting injuries mess up their postseason hope. I know Jokic has been having a phenomenal season, putting up MVP type performances, but I'm really surprised that they've been able to keep their top spot in the Western Conference while going through all this adversity. Michael Malone has had guys also step up and players' absences to injuries. For example, Monte Morris has really been productive coming off the bench this season, and he's shown a lot of potential. He's also had guys like Ancho Hernan-Gomez step up. The dude's shooting 42.3% from the three-point line this season. But once everyone does eventually come back, Michael Malone Malone will have a lot of pieces to juggle with minutes, kind of like what Brad Stevens and the Celtics are going through. They have a lot of talented players and they're struggling to find minutes for all of them. This team is very deep and might struggle to find minutes for guys like Monte Morris and Juancho Hernan-Gomez, but Michael Malone's lineups has been great all season long, and I'm pretty sure he'll be able to handle it all. But once again, there's a lot of other great coaches in the league, but personally I feel like Michael Malone and the Nuggets have been through much more adversity this season, and to be having all this success in the tough Western Conference, I feel like he should be the coach of the year this season. But with that being said, that's all I got for you guys today, and let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. But if you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like, share, and subscribe for more NBA content. And while you're at it, go ahead and follow me on all my social medias. Links to my Twitter and Instagram will be in the comment section below and in the description box below. But I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I will see you all later. Peace.
This is a Chuki Beat production.